Claus, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good luck. Stay safe.
Well, many of Victoria's small businesses affected by the lockdown will be watching closely as the Premier outlines a direction for the state. They'll be hoping some restrictions will be eased to help them recover financially.
Now, in the meantime, an online campaign aimed at buying local hopes to ensure these small businesses survive the lockdown period. The Click for Vic website showcases more than 370 virtual market stalls selling artisanal goods. Let's now check in with the CEO of Visit Victoria, Brendan McClemens. Brendan, welcome to Weekend Breakfast. This campaign basically expands local businesses' reach by putting them online. What's been the reaction so far from the vendors?
Well, it's been an extraordinary success to date. We're really pleased with the way it's gone. I think, obviously, as we talk about this, there's a lot of focus on what we can't do, but Click for Vic is something we can do, which is support our people from around the state who are working in extraordinary ways to create extraordinary goods and services. And this is a real chance for everyone to get behind the things they're doing and help them through this difficult time.
Well, one particular report said that sales through Victorian country markets reportedly rose by more than 300%, which is remarkable, really. Now, is there a gauge as to how many of these vendors would have gone under without this campaign?
Look, when we speak to the vendors, they talk about it as really being a lifeline for them. In many cases, not only is the economic benefit been there, but it also has been a terrific fill up to their mental well-being, that they find it just an incredible way of realising that people are keen to help, and that just this sort of positive step has really been a lifeline for them to continue to operate, and in many cases, pleasingly, bring on a few more staff to help them deal with the orders.
Take us through some of the products that's available online.
Well, what we know from what we see, and we've had hundreds of thousands of people virtually visit hundreds of thousands of times to producers around the country are doing things as broad as goats and cheese and ceramicists. We've got apiarists producing incredible honey products. We've got meat producers, dairy producers, virtually anything you want you can find there. And I know, and let me say, as people want to get in early for their Christmas shopping, this is a great way to find some things around regional Victoria you won't find elsewhere. And the other pleasing part about Click for Vic is we're working with Shane Dahlia, one of the great chefs here in Melbourne, with his work around Providore, which is really for these great restaurants that people enjoy so much visiting in and around Melbourne, to be able to enjoy them at home. So for virtually every person in some way, shape or form, there's something that you can get through Click for Vic.
Now, there is indication, Brendan, that the restrictions that Melbourne is currently under may be extended for just that little bit longer because your infection cases aren't going down as fast enough as the Premier would like it to be. How do you see this impacting tourism even further?
Well, obviously, the visitor economy, tourism, has been terribly hardly hit around Australia and around the world. We're no different to anyone else in that regard. But what Click for Vic also does is remind people of the places that they will be able to visit when we come out the other side of this. And more than that, discover some new places they might want to put on their bucket list. We do think it's a great way for people to explore Victoria. While we can't visit, we can still enjoy the things that are produced both in Melbourne and regional Victoria.
But there are two Victorias, isn't there, at the moment? You know, you've got regional Victoria in stage 3 at the moment. We're seeing infection cases sharply decline there. We're also seeing Melbourne in stage 4 at the moment. And from what I'm reading here, Melbourne may remain under stage 4 restriction until mid-October or so. Let's talk about this roadmap. What are you hoping to come out of this roadmap? Are you hoping that perhaps regional Victoria will be able to ease up a little bit more than Melbourne, and a lot more sooner?
Look, I don't think I should be speculating on what the Premier will announce a little bit later on today, but what we can do is be ready for whatever comes our way. So whether regional Victoria eases a bit or Melbourne stays in, we're very keen for people to understand what Victoria has to offer, and we think Click for Vic is one of the ways that people are really finding out so much about the creative forces that drive Victoria.
Brendan McClemens, CEO of Visit Victoria, thank you so much for speaking with us this morning.
Absolute pleasure.
Great campaign. Some great honey and cheese and wine in the northeast.
All Victoria made as well. It's not just produce as well, but it's fashion, it's gifts, it's cottage.
I wondered if that artwork behind him was for sale. It was quite nice. Anyway, it is time